What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/IDontWorkHereLady.
This story's called, Don't You Know Who I Am? Haven't you seen El Camino? My best friend works in a furniture warehouse, and it's a very chill job. I'm a freelancer who works off a computer. So when things are slow for him, I hang there to work on a more comfortable sofa, and we chat and whatever. So, since I'm in the furniture warehouse a lot, I've come to develop a decent understanding of where things are and even an opinion of which brands of couches and mattresses I prefer to others. Sitting working on a laptop, people often mistake me for a store employee. If someone asks a question in earnest, I usually try to answer it, always first saying, "Well, I don't work here, but..." Today was one of those times. I was working and a sweet old lady asked me where to find something. I started to give her directions, but she looked blank, so I just walked her over there, discussing her new easy chair with her as we walked. She found what she was looking for. An annoying woman and her teenage daughter flagged me down. Here's the cast. Annoying woman? Teenage daughter? My friend. Hey, I've been trying here for 20 minutes already. Can I get some service, please? Oh, sorry, I don't work here, but I can go find my friend. Just because this isn't your section doesn't mean you can't help me. This place isn't that big. No, I don't work here at all. Come on, what, you're going on break? No, miss, I am not employed by this store. Are you gonna help me or not? Did you hear anything I just said? Shocked look. I have been a loyal customer of this chain for decades. If you don't help me, you'll never have my business again. Unless you needed digital editing done, I didn't have your business to begin with. My friend hears the commotion and comes over. Hey, what can I help with? Your employee has been very rude to me and my daughter. He cursed us and everything. My daughter heard it. Right, sweetie? I shop here all the time and there isn't a discount big enough to fix this. I need to speak to a manager or a manager's manager or something. Yeah. My friend knows pretty much the only remains of my Christian upbringing is I still never curse. Instinctually, I'll be a gosh golly darn person until I die. So he put together pretty quickly what had happened. Important thing to know, I look kind of like Aaron Paul. My friend and I had just been discussing it earlier in the day because of El Camino coming out. Wait, I knew I recognized you. Sir, oh my god, it's such an honor to meet you! I didn't know what he was doing at this point. Are you talking to him? She turns to me. Are you the owner or something? Can I get a photo with you, Aaron? Alright, but make it quick. I'm just trying to pick out a new couch. I don't want a lot of attention. Who are you? Ma'am, are you kidding? This is Aaron Paul. You know, Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad? From the El Camino movie on Netflix? Ah, no way! Ah! Oh, but Mr. Paul, sir, did you curse at my patrons? I guess I'm gonna have to ask you to leave the store. I mean, it's policy if you were bothering people. No, none of that happened at all. My mom made that up because she was embarrassed. Can I take a photo with you? I don't really like to do a lot of... Sure you can, honey. I'll take the photo. Give me your phone. Squeeze in, Mr. Paul. My friend is barely holding it together, but I felt bad looping the teenage daughter into this. But then her mom gets in the photo and puts her arm around me like we're friends. No apology or anything at any point from her. So I didn't feel bad anymore. We took a bunch of photos, then as soon as I had an opportunity, I went home. Because people were already starting to whisper throughout the store that Aaron Paul was in there buying a couch. In that short period of time, I already had to correct 2 people who stopped me on my way out. I caught up with my friend a few hours later, and apparently the woman picked out a ton of mattress covers, then tried to pay for them in part with an expired coupon, pitched a major fit over the coupon not being accepted, and eventually left without buying anything. Okay, so that story took a really weird turn. But anyways, that was a pretty funny story. And that teenage daughter's reaction to what looked like Aaron Paul was 100% acceptable. In fact, you know, me being such a big Breaking Bad fan, especially of Aaron Paul, I can't say I wouldn't react any differently. I'm curious now. Let me know in the comments below any celebrity encounters. Bonus points if it was just someone that looked like a celebrity and you approached them as if they were that celebrity. This story's called, Lady, I Don't Live Here and I Didn't Call You. This just happened. I'm over at my parents' house and on my laptop when the house phone rings. My dad gets it and I hear a conversation that goes something like this.
Who's this? You called us. No, you called us. No, you called us. No one from here called you.
Then he hung up. I was half listening and half working on some code at the time, so I asked him what that was about. He said some lady was insistent that someone from here had called her and she was demanding to know who and why. He was more bewildered than anything at this lady's insistence, and a bit annoyed. I told him a telemarketer probably called her and spoofed our number. I shrugged the call off and went back to coding. I thought that was the end of it until the phone rang again about 2 minutes later. He saw the ID said private caller and gave it to me and said,
Here, you take it. You have all the answers.
I took the phone and started the call. Hello? That was very rude of you to hang up on me while I was talking to you. I've never spoken to you before. Well, whoever I was talking to, you're very rude. Why did you call me? No one here called you. I think what probably happened is a telemarketer called you and spoofed our number and... Don't you return phone calls? I get 100 calls a day and I don't have time to spend my time returning all of these. Who called me from here? Lady, again, no one here called you. You were talking to my dad earlier and he already told you. I told you I don't have time. She just ranted on and on, more or less the same, getting louder and louder. Finally losing my patience.
Lady, no one here called you, but I can see why my dad hung up on you because you're very annoying.
This isn't an exact word for word, and I think there was a bit more I'm forgetting, but it's close enough. Jeebus, I could hear the "I want to speak to your manager" vibe in her voice and was 99% sure her name was actually Karen. Too bad for her, this isn't a store and I have no problem hanging up on her. If she's too stupid to believe no one called her and expects a more satisfactory answer, she's in for a world of disappointment. Okay, the one thing that catches my eye more than anything about this story is the fact that they still have a home phone? What is this, 2008? Anyway, outdated but famously reliable technology aside, I hate phone calls with anyone I don't know. So an annoying Karen calling me over and over and yelling at me and saying, "Why'd you call me?" That would make my brain explode. This story's called Sticky Fingers and a Green Thumb. I work in a job that often requires a lot of miscellaneous furniture and decorative items. This means I find myself at IKEA quite regularly with a shopping list the length of my arm. At this point, I know every shortcut, where all the trolley and basket stacks are around the shop. There are not nearly enough, and I've got the layout down pretty well. It's far from my favorite place on earth, but it no longer terrifies me like it did the first time I found myself walking the 70-mile showroom. Now, my story is a bit like a Russian doll, because I've actually had quite a few different encounters, and each time I think I've popped the head off the beast, there is another, smaller, more vaguely annoying encounter lurking inside, just waiting for the next time I find myself at the mercy of the blue and yellow gods. And you can say I'm being dramatic, and I am, but as with any good Russian doll, the tiny woman at the center is always the one to really watch out for. Normally, the extent of the encounters I have is someone asking me where something is in the store or asking me if I can check inventory for something. Is that even a thing at IKEA? And honestly, if I can help direct them, I do before politely telling them I don't actually work there. I get my apologies and my thank yous, and then I wander off to get the next thing on my list. But then there was the thief. On this occasion, I was in the greenhouse picking up plants. I needed around 40 plants in pots ranging from succulents to mini trees, and I had 5 trolleys circled around me by the time I was done. I hadn't really made a plan of the exact plants I needed when I went in, as it's easier to figure out the logistics when I've got the stock in front of me. You also can't order anything from the greenhouse online. So I'm finally done, red-faced and sweating from hauling plants around, and I realize I now have to get me and my 5 trolleys to the checkout. The way the shop is laid out, this just means getting out of the greenhouse and then dragging my cargo across the warehouse, but it's still a fair distance. I've got the exact stuff I need, and I was paranoid that someone might try and take something, so I did it in little increments. getting all the trolleys to checkpoints along the way instead of taking one the whole way, then coming back for the next one. It turns out it was a smart move, as partway through one of the checkpoints, I turned back to see a woman rooting through one of my trolleys. I quickly sprinted back to her. "Oh, sorry, those are actually my trolleys." I took the handle of the one nearest to her and smiled. She frowned back at me. "But you left them." "I wasn't abandoning them, I just have too many to move all at once." She didn't respond. She just turned and walked off to another shelf, and after a moment of watching her go, I got back to the job at hand. It was barely 2 minutes later when I caught her at it again. This time, trying to take one of the plants out of the trolley. I ran back again, starting to get annoyed. "Hey, excuse me, please could you put that back?" She looked a bit startled, but was still frowning at me when she spoke. "Why?" "Because it was in my trolley? You can't just take it out?" "Well, where are they in the shop then? I can't find them." She gestures with the plant still in her hand, so I reach out to take it back from her. I sigh internally, as I was pretty sure I had gotten the last one, and I'd had to diversify my own purchase due to low stock. But wanting to be rid of her, I pointed her towards the area I'd found them and tried to hurry up and get to the checkout faster. But I was not fast enough. I was almost there. Almost to salvation, when I found the woman back at my cart, trying to pull out one of the plants again. I had shifted them around a little to make it a little bit harder so she hadn't quite freed it when I got there. "Hey, I told you, you can't do that. Put it back." "No, there aren't any left. I need this one." "Well, I'm sorry there aren't any left, but you can't just take one from my trolley because of that." "This is ridiculous. Why the heck not? Do I honestly have to wait for you to stock the shelf before I can take them? That's insane, when I could just take it now and save us both the trouble." And suddenly, I realized what was happening. Again. Miss, I don't work here. I'm a customer, like you. This is stuff I want to buy." I watched as her brain computed this revelation. She looked me up and down like she was assessing whether I could be trusted before obviously deciding she needed to exit the situation. Spluttering something that could have been an apology, she turned and left, walking back to the greenhouse. I finished my relay race and checked out successfully. I didn't see the thief again. In a way, I do get where she was coming from. Someone pushing around 5 trolleys of foliage probably does look a bit strange amongst the new couples picking out bedside tables and the families browsing for desk chairs. But then again, I wasn't in uniform, told her to leave the stuff alone multiple times, and was pretty obviously heading away from the greenhouse where any stocking would have taken place. So she's also kind of an idiot. I'm not looking forward to the next IKEA trip. Man, I feel bad for that dude, okay? Think about it. He has to go to IKEA all the time, and it's this massive, sprawling freaking complex of a store, and he's already stated he's not that fond of it. And now, he's frustrated having to carry these 5 whole carts all the way to checkout, inches at a time, and every time he turns around, this woman is just rifling through his stuff, so he has to stop inching the 5 carts, just go tell this woman to stop, multiple times. Man, I'm getting frustrated just thinking of the whole ordeal. This story's called "Today I Fudged Up by Getting Lost and Mugged, Leading to My Rescue by a Street Vigilante." I'll open with a few disclaimers. Yes, this story is true. No, it did not happen today, but rather, 10 years ago. Also, there are many moments where the reader can say, "Wow, this guy messed up." But the biggest point was probably when I agreed to get in the vigilante's car. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's start from the beginning. I went to law school in a big city. The law school was built blocks away from a high-crime, low-income area. This was done on purpose to allow the law school to help serve the community. We actually did a lot of good work, and I am proud of my time as a law student there, helping those in need. But anyway, my subway stop was in the middle of this part of town, and I was totally new to the area. I moved there to go to the school and was not really familiar with the city. I had been driving to the school and parking in a parking deck, but that was getting expensive. So on this particular day, I took the subway to school. I managed to walk from the subway to my school that morning without too many wrong turns, but later that night, on my way back, I got lost. I suppose I probably looked like quite the target. standing there with my smartphone out, staring at a map, clearly lost. Perhaps that is F up number 1? Regardless, it shouldn't come as too much of a surprise to the reader that I was mugged. Well, mugged might be putting it too simply. Does mugging usually include getting thrown to the ground and kicked in the stomach, back, and face? I don't know, but that's what happened. 3 young men came up from behind me, pushed me to the ground, kicked me, stole my phone, my wallet, and my backpack, which had my laptop in it. So there I was, laying on the sidewalk in the dark, blood dripping down my face when I hear tires screech to a stop. I look up and see a guy leaning all the way across the passenger seat to talk out the window.
Yo, Bench, did you just get jumped?
What?
Did you just get jumped?
Yeah.
Dookie, Bench, get in the car.
What? No.
Get in the car, Bench. We gonna get your stuff back.
I had never seen this man in my life, and he just called me Bench 3 times. He had a really nice car though, like really nice, especially for the area. I seem to recall it was some sort of Mercedes with these tricked out spinning rims. I got up, wincing at what I would later learn was a cracked rib, and got in the car. Perhaps that was the second screw up? Why would I get in his car? Maybe it was because I was young or wasn't thinking straight, or because his car was nice, or because I really needed to get my laptop back with all my copious notes on it. I don't know. But seriously kids, don't get in a stranger's car. We take off, and in a few blocks we catch up to these kids that had jumped me. He makes a left turn onto the sidewalk and cuts them off. Yes, really. He then pulls out a gun from under his seat and points it at the kids and yells,
"Drop that stuff!"
The kids look completely terrified, drop my backpack, and run. The guy gets out of his car and gets my backpack for me. It has my laptop, wallet, and phone in it. Oh my god, thank you so much! He starts to drive away. Can you take me to the hospital? I ask.
Heck no, Bench. You getting out right here.
He drives about 3 blocks back to the nicer area near the law school. I guess he knew that's where a random white kid in his neighborhood belonged. Please, the hospital is just a few blocks that way. I don't think I can walk.
Hell no, get the flip out of my car.
What else could I do? I got out of his car and he sped away. I then limped my way to the hospital. I've recounted this story many times over the years, and have come to surmise that my hero was probably a drug dealer. He had seen what happened to me and didn't want the cops crawling around his area, and so instead he chose to take matters into his own hands. This is also probably why he didn't want to take me to the hospital. But some part of me wants to believe he was just a quiet, sort of foul-mouthed hero who wanted to do the right thing. Not all heroes wear capes. Some drive cars with spinning rims. Wherever you are, my sweet street vigilante, thanks for helping me get my crap back. There are a few things that match the charm of stories of unlikely or reluctant heroes who do the right thing. If a potential drug dealer who points guns at thieving children can do the right thing, so can you. He's an inspiration to us all. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.